So I started investigating predatory small business loans about 6 years ago. And I wanted to tell you about one of the first people I spoke to when I started researching this. It was a man by the name of Dermot O'Hare, who ran a Irish bar in rural Pennsylvania. And he had moved, he was an immigrant, he'd won the green card lottery, he worked the bar, his wife cooked, they lived upstairs. They took a lot of pride in this bar, they threw events for the community. One day, a storm wrecked their tiki bar, and then a friendly salesman called and said, hey, do you need any money? This is the kind of call that businesses across the country get all the time. And, in fact, he did need some money. The business wasn't going that well, and this tiki bar was ruined. And he took out a loan, and the salesman told him, not to worry, that the rate would be low, it would be manageable. But he got deeper and deeper into the hole, and eventually ended up losing his bar and home to foreclosure. When I met him, he had moved in with his in-laws in Ohio and was working part-time at a hardware store. And he was devastated, but the saddest thing for me was he said to me that he'd really called these cash advance companies to complain a lot, and that he said, they will never forget me. Oh boy, they know me. I tortured them on the phone. Because he was powerless, but all he could do was call these companies to complain about how they'd swindled him with these loans, because this industry is completely unregulated. And so in my research, I got to know some of these swindlers, and I asked them, do you know Dermot O'Hare? None of them had any idea who he was. It was just another guy that they ripped off. And, they've been getting away with it for years. And I thought, I wrote a story about this a while ago. I thought, maybe someone would do something about it. But it wasn't until recently I teamed up with Zach, and we really dove into this topic. And I learned something about fairness from Zach, which was that doing a fair story doesn't mean being, wishy-washy or giving equal weight to both sides. It means, being open to where the truth leads you. But if the truth leads you to uncovering an outrageous scandal, then, telling it like it is and presenting the facts about what these guys are doing. And so because I got to work with Zach on the series and presented the truth about what was going on, we were finally able to get some attention to these horrible practices. And although none of the politicians have actually done anything yet, hopefully they will. So thank you, Zach. I also wanted to thank my editor, Robert Friedman, who's here, who's been editing these stories all 6 years. Is a great teacher and has always knows how to ask for, a little bit more than you can do right now. How to not how to push you to do a little bit better. I've learned so much from him I was writing about bond prices before I started working with him, so it was a big improvement. And it's a big honor for me to receive this award, especially I grew up in Somerville and my parents are here. And I want to thank my dad, Russell, who, when me and my sister were kids, he required us to watch commercials with the sound off so that we could discuss ways that corporations manipulate you. And then my mother, Abby, and my stepfather, David, who didn't even have a TV and would encourage us to read and write, and who also encouraged me to pursue any kind of project, no matter how far-fetched it seemed at the time, which is a great skill for a reporter. So thank you, the Nieman Foundation. Thank you so much.